Hey, thank you for joining us here for our Quarter 1 2026 strategic briefing. The era of hacking trust. The adversarial landscape has fundamentally shifted. The days of spray and pray spam are over. In late 2024, high net worth individuals and lean organizations are facing a new reality. Attackers are no longer trying to break through the castle walls. They are impersonating the gatekeepers. Firewalls, encryption, and endpoint tools still matter, but they're no longer the primary battlefront. The new attack surface is human perception. Adversaries are bypassing technical defenses by exploiting identity verification, trust relationships, and urgency. The cost is staggering. Social engineering attacks, impersonation, business email compromise, drove over $16.6 billion in losses in 2024 alone. The bottom line is simple. Trust itself has become a vulnerability. Seeing is no longer believing. Generative AI has weaponized identity. We've moved far beyond phishing emails with bad grammar. Today, adversaries are deploying real time deepfake audio and video, convincingly cloning CEOs, principals, and family members to authorize high value transactions. Let me ground this in a real case. In early 2024, a financial employee in Hong Kong joined a video conference with what appeared to be her CFO and several familiar colleagues. They looked real, they sounded real, they behaved exactly as expected. The entire meeting was a deepfake. Over the course of the call, she executed 15 wire transfers totaling $25 million. This was not a failure of vigilance, it was a failure of assumptions. Video verification is no longer proof of life, and this threat isn't confined to corporate finance. In 2023, an Arizona mother received a ransom call featuring the sobbing, terrified voice of her 15-year-old daughter. The kidnapping was fake, but the voice was real. It was an AI clone. The emotional damage was permanent. The critical takeaway is this: voice recognition is now functionally obsolete as a security control. Shift number two, we're really seeing the erosion of MFA and session hijacking. What I like to kind of reference as stealing the wristband. Multi-factor authentication remains the industry standard, but attackers have adapted. They're no longer cracking passwords, they're stealing active sessions. Here's the analogy. Imagine a private club. You show the ID at the door and receive a VIP wristband. Once inside, security doesn't question you again. The wristband proves you're already been vetted. Now imagine an attacker doesn't forge an ID. They simply cut the wristband off your arm and put it on their own. To security, they are you. Digitally, that wristband is your session token. Using InfoStealer malware or reverse proxy phishing, attackers steal that token immediately after login. Once they have it, MFA is irrelevant. In 2024, nearly 69% of MFA bypass incidents involve token theft. From my own experience, out of the 20 breach responses I've dove into, I would say about 80% of those I saw session hijack, traces of session hijacks, and literally the same exact method of token theft. With a stolen session, attackers can access your email, cloud apps, and files without ever needing your password or your 2FA again. Targeting has also moved sideways. The side door compromise. Why attack a hardened target when you can compromise their vendor? In Q4, we observed a sharp rise in supply chain attacks aimed at the lifestyle ecosystem surrounding high-profile individuals, law firms, travel concierges, property managers, household services. The pattern is consistent. Attackers breach a smaller vendor with weaker controls and inherit trust by proximity. In late 2025, the Culinary Jet concierge service was breached. Hackers didn't ransom the company. They threatened to leak travel itineraries, habits, and movement patterns of their wealthy clients. The implication is severe. Your risk profile is inherited from your least secure vendor. If your travel agent's inbox is compromised, your movements are compromised. So, through the safehouse lens, Q4 confirms one thing clearly. The traditional moat and castle security model is failing. For private individuals and executive leaders, security strategy must evolve immediately. First, zero trust in communications. Audio and video just can no longer be treated as full truth. Any request involving money or sensitive data requires independent verification. Second, ecosystem hygiene. You are only as secure as your ecosystem. A breach on a household staff device can cascade directly into professional exposure. Third is session awareness. The web browser has become a high value target. Remember me features are no longer conveniences, they're liabilities. These are kind of some immediate protocols and implementations that I would recommend. First is out of band verification. So if you receive an urgent request for funds or sensitive data, email, text, or even video, do not trust it. The protocol is simple. Verify through a secondary encrypted channel such as Signal, for example, or Threema. Establish a verbal challenge phrase or duress code with family members and finance teams. If the person cannot produce it, terminate the call. Just some sort of system that, again, is an out of band verification, preferably off a network. Like this is kind of like an off the grid, but a safety net for, specifically for financial aspects. Second is aggressive session hygiene. You want to treat session cookies like the keys to your house. Stop using Keep Me Logged In on any unmanaged device. Manually log out of banking, email, and cloud portals when finished. And again, like just assume closing a tab is not enough. You want to click log out for anything important. And then vendor audit. Inventory your trust relationships. Who has access to your calendar, your inbox, storage? Apply the principle of least privilege. Revoke access from fast projects. Ask vendors one direct question. Do you use hardware security keys? This will tell you everything you need to know about your vendor. Some final thoughts. I mean, in intelligence, the old maxim was trust but verify. In 2025, that's no longer sufficient. The new standard is verify, then verify again. Who's asking, through what channel, with what proof? I hope this has been informative, and I want to thank you for being a part of the Safe House community. We'll be back Q2 of 2026 with new insights and new trends. I hope you learned something here today, and feel free to email us at support@mysafehouse.com with any recommendations, any things you might want to see next time. And thank you again. Stay safe out there. Bye.